Good evening. It's so nice to see you. I'm still using my other channel's voice, am I not? I've been listening to myself for the last hour. I had to edit those two videos in the $1.25 store. They are now $1.25. I knew it was going to go up. I just wasn't sure when it was going to go up. Apparently they went up since the last time I was there, which that wasn't that long ago. I am enjoying some peace and quiet downstairs. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and I realized I had not talked to y'all today. I am enjoying the lights. Check this out. I am enjoying my little porch trees that I got at Goodwill. Aren't they pretty? I got them for $10 each minus my 15% discount. Now these lights here are on a timer, just like my birch trees. This one always has to get the last word though. They're all set to come on and go off at the same time, but that one always has to it always goes off last. It stays on a good 20 minutes longer than the other two. It does it no matter how many times I try to redo it. You know, like reset them all at the same time. It does it every time. It's just stubborn. It's like, no, I'm gonna get the last word. Hey Boop. Hey Boop. Whoop. I love that. She does this little hop. Come here, Boop. Whoop. You're blurry, Boop. She's purring. She's happy. She was outside for a little bit and she got cold and came in. It's not too cold out. Isn't that pretty though? We'll back up where you can see it better. I mean, I thought it's nice. It's so quiet down here. I got my little Goodwill chair right there. And it's just so quiet down here. My happy little trees. They have, I showed you these. I believe I did. They have maple leaves in them. Look. Little fake maple leaves and real pine cones. These are super fancy. Boop, don't do it. You know you're not supposed to chew on it. Whoop. She knows she's not supposed to chew on it. And she'll look at me and do it like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's little berries. My older son says it's a Christmas tree. Boop, don't you do it. I wasn't doing anything. You are so naughty. Now my older son said, Mom, those are Christmas trees. I said, no, they're not. They're not Christmas trees. He said, Mom, they're trees with lights in them. They're Christmas trees. I told him to hush. I said, they are not. They're my happy little trees. They come in these little pots, you know. I thought they were cool. I've always wanted some porch trees, but I don't really have anywhere good to put them outside. So I figure I'll just put them there for now. And I mean, they came in, they have boxes that you can store them in. So I'll just put them up and enjoy them. I'll leave them up out here for a little bit, and then maybe on over into springtime, I'll put them up in the attic. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hanging out down here. I tried this shampoo and conditioner, and it's left my hair kind of lifeless. It's Joico K-Pack Color Therapy. And I don't know that I'm happy with it. My hair just sort of sits on my head. It's like it weighs it down. I don't know. I may have to just use it occasionally. I don't know. Anyway, I found out, okay, so I was in an exercise class this evening, and all the parents in the class got the text at the same time that they're doing remote school again. They've done remote school all week. Well, let me take that back. Monday and Tuesday were not school days anyway, but today was remote, and they're going to do remote tomorrow and Friday because of the weather. But the thing is, I mean, I think the roads are clear as far as I know, but I know you got a lot of secondary roads and stuff that may not be. But it got up to almost 60 today, and it's not going to get below freezing tonight. But they're saying, no, out of an abundance of caution, we're just going to do remote school for the whole week. And they'll probably do remote for some next week too, because we have another system coming through Saturday. I think we're supposed to get some more snow and frozen stuff. Oh my God, I don't know. My kids and I are driving each other crazy. And we went through this now because of COVID. They had to do online school for almost an entire school year. They were home for 50 weeks straight. 2 weeks shy of an entire year. We were all here together. We've had more than our share of quality time, let me tell you. We're good on quality time. We got thoroughly sick of one another. But, and they were both itching to go back to school. My older son said, Mom, I never thought I would say this, but I really want to go back to school. I do not want to do remote school anymore. Having to sit in front of my laptop 8 hours a day, it sucks. I said, I know. And my younger son did not do well with remote school. Boop's trying to go behind the bookshelf. You have not fit back there since you were a kitten. She tries to wedge herself into places that she won't fit. Don't bite the bush because you're mad. That sounded funny. She's frustrated. She was going to bite my little porch tree because she won't fit behind the bookshelf. When we first brought her home, it would be 2 years ago in early April, I think. She was so tiny. She was 8 weeks old, 6 or 8 weeks old. She basically stayed behind the bookshelf for the first whole day, like she was afraid to come out. And Evie and Pumpkin kept coming and looking at her, and she was so cute, her little face. She's back there going, yeah, you did that, Boop. She's looking at me like, don't make fun of me. Look at her. Don't make fun of me, Mama. Don't make fun of me. That's the heater that just kicked on. I love my heat. I always have to turn it down when I make videos at home so you don't hear the heater in the video. So sometimes I forget to turn it back up before I go to bed because I make most of my videos late at night. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and it's freezing and I realize I did not turn the heat back up. Oh, dang. Shoot. Or in the summertime, I turn the air, I'll bump it up so the air won't come on, and then it'll get really hot. And I wake up in the middle of the night just dying because it's so hot. Oh, the things I do. But I made 2 videos in Dollar Tree today, which was fun. I always like doing that. There's this one Dollar Tree that I really like because they put their soap on those shelves like that. Most of them have them in these angled bins with wire, you know. But there's one Dollar Tree here that doesn't do that. They actually put it on shelves so I can actually organize it. When it's in bins, I mean, you can't really, I guess you could kind of organize it, but it's not as fun. So I'm kind of thinking about going somewhere tomorrow, although I need to talk to somebody about my roof. I'm going to try to find somebody to come look at my roof and find out what's going on. I think I've got a leak up in the attic. I've got to get something done about it soon, especially with rain coming. I may not get it fixed before it rains again. It's not bad. It's not like super awful. It's a minor leak, but I don't want to wait for it to get any worse. Yeah, I want to get that taken care of. It's always something. When you own a house, there's always something wrong. Something's always messed up. Something needs to be fixed or whatever, or adjusted, or it never ends. That's one thing I do miss about renting. And it's like, if I had a leak in my roof, just call the landlord. They need to come fix that. Refrigerator's messed up. Landlord, hello. I am the landlord. I am the landlady. Boop. Do you hear her? This is my ratty ass couch cover. I know it looks ugly, but Cat, what are you doing? Boop. Where are you? What are you doing? Get out from back there. She is the naughtiest little cat I have ever had. She gets under the couch and like hooks her claws into the underside and pulls and scoots along on her back under the couch. That's what she's doing right. I'm moving my feet. I'm getting my feet up so she doesn't scratch me. She is shaking the couch because she's insane. No, this is a lovely couch. I keep this ugly cover on it because my younger son basically lives on this couch during the day. He does his online school from here, and he eats in here, and I don't want him messing it up. So this ratty cover keeps my couch from looking bad. My stars, Cat. Did I ever tell you that when I was a kid we raised baby squirrels? Her doing that made me think of the baby squirrels because that's like stuff they would do. You're shaking the couch. So, okay, so you know I lived in the middle of nowhere when I was growing up. Cat. Well, this timber company owned a lot of the land around where we lived. Now, we had 7 acres that my parents bought from my mother's parents when they got married. My parents got married in the late 50s and didn't have me till much later. My dad had to go off to Vietnam first, I reckon, and then, yeah, when he came back, let's see, he had my brother before he left, and then me when he got back. Yeah, anyway, so we lived out in the middle of nowhere, but this lumber company owned a lot of their land, and there were 2 different years. It was in the wintertime. There were 2 different times they cut trees on part of the property the timber company owned. And my dad knew the guys that were doing it. And they cut a tree that had a squirrel nest in it and had baby squirrels. And they brought them to us. And they looked like little wrinkled gray jelly beans. They were like tiny, impossibly small. I have a picture somewhere of my mom, I think, holding all 3 of them in the palm of her hand. They were so small. Boop, what are you doing? What are you doing? Cat? Quit running around. She's got the zoomies or something. I don't know. What is going on? You're looking for something to attack, aren't you? I don't have anything for you. Go dig a toy out of the little container back there. Okay? Cool. She gets a little wild at night. So anyway, both times they brought us 3 baby squirrels, and they were both really small. And we had to work with the vet to figure out how to feed these babies. And we got this special formula stuff from the vet, and we had these tiny little bottles we had to feed them out of. They were so small. We had to get an incubator to keep them warm, and they all survived. They did. And my dad made this big cage, like this big cage thing to put in the house for when they got older. And he cut down a dogwood tree and put it in it so they'd have something to climb on, you know. And we would let them out once or twice a day when we were home, like in the evenings or first thing in the morning. And they would just run like crazy all over the house. I mean, they'd jump up on the curtains. I know there was at least one time I had taken a shower and I was wrapped up in a towel and I was walking back to my room and I had to walk through the kitchen to get to my room. We lived in this little single wide trailer and I had to walk through the kitchen, and one of them was up on the curtain rod, and it jumped down, and they have these tiny claws, and it just hooked into my bare shoulder, like right here. And I knew I couldn't, I just froze. Like I knew if I tried to swat it, it was going to hurt me even more. I knew to freeze, and my mom came and just gently lifted it off of me. But I had little puncture wounds, just little holes from the squirrel. I was okay. It wasn't a problem. But, you know, that's one good thing that my parents taught me is don't panic. You know, and I know people that when things happen, they just panic, and that's the worst thing you can do. You need to keep a level head. You need to be aware of your situation. Don't panic. It's the worst thing. You need to stop. If you feel like you're about to panic, you need to stop, take a breath. And that's what I do when that squirrel landed on me. And my mom saw it happen, and I just stood there, and I just waited for her to come unhook the squirrel from my shoulder. So, I don't think I've ever been one to really panic when stuff happens, because it doesn't benefit anyone. You need at least one person in the situation to have a clear head, and it may just be you. So, because also if you're panicking, somebody's going to have to deal with you. So that's even more resources that are being diverted that could be better used for whatever's going on. Don't do it. It's not cute. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody's going to find it endearing or charming. Don't panic. Act like you got some, as my mom and dad would say, act like you got some sense. Yes, but anyway, we got to raise these squirrels, and they would just run like crazy all over the house. They loved it. And it was always kind of sad on over in the springtime when they were big enough to be out on their own. And I still remember both times we got, you know, we gathered them up and we took them out in the backyard, and we had, you know, let them go. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. That's where they need to be. They need to be out in the woods, you know. And we let them go, and they all did all right. None of them ever came back. I was kind of hoping they would, but no, they just went on out and lived their happy little squirrel lives, which is what they're supposed to do. So I'm glad we were able to save 6 squirrels, and I like to feed the squirrels here. I put out some food for them. There was some out there eating at my back door earlier. The cats love to watch them. It's like entertainment for them. So yeah, it's kind of late, and I believe I'm gonna go and get ready for bed. But yes, yeah, it was so funny because I was in my exercise class when the text came through, and the lady doing the class had just been talking about how, like, she has 2 daughters, and she said, I got to get them out of my house. They're driving me insane. I said, I know exactly how you feel. I know. They need to go back to school. They need to go. And she saw that she glanced down at that text. She said, oh, dear God, no. She said, I'll drive the bus. Is the bus the problem? I'll drive the damn bus. I'll drive them to school. What time you need me to be there? 5:30? I'll be there. Amen. God. Anyway, they'll go back to school eventually. I hope. A lot of kids, oh my God, the scores when they did the standardized tests at the end of the school year last year, abominable. They did so bad. Here in North Carolina, I mean, I can't speak for every state, but the test scores were horrible. I mean, unbelievably bad. So I think they've basically said they're not going back to remote. Like, no, we're not going back to that. I don't think they can, honestly. With the scores, the grades and everything and the learning loss, I don't think they can do it. So, and I think the parents would revolt if they tried it because we're all just done. We're done. And I know my younger son did not do well with remote school. He just does not learn like that. He cannot learn like that. I don't know. My older son did okay grade-wise, but I think he got pretty depressed. I think he got pretty depressed. He was very happy to go back to school. And they did go back, I think, for the last 3 weeks of school. I think they went back for like almost a month at the end of the school year. He was really glad, and my younger son was really glad too to be back in person. So anyway, we have more weather coming, and I got to find somebody to look at my roof and find out why the heck there's a leak up there, because I'll be darned if I know. The roof is not that old, but that doesn't mean it can't have a problem. So anyway, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. Actually, I have to go wash some dishes before I go to bed. There are a few dishes in there that I left in there. I'm going to take care of that, and then I'm going to go to bed. Anyway, thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.